Welcome back to Living Local. If you enjoy high school basketball, the Carver Center at Augustana College is the place to be this weekend. The best teams from Iowa and Illinois will match up on the court for some exciting games at the annual Genesis Shootout. And here to tell us a little bit more about this event, this special event, is Pete Ivanic, Genesis Shootout event director in this segment sponsored by Genesis Health System. Pete, thanks so much for coming in to talk to us.
Thanks for the invitation. Yeah, happy to be here.
Okay, so talk to us a little bit more about this Genesis Shootout.
Sure.
and how long this event has been going on.
Yeah, we're in the 29th year of this shootout. It came to fruition. First event was in 1993. We had this building that was constructed in Moline. Maybe you've heard of it. The Mark of the Quad Cities is what we used to call it.
Yep.
And the state of Illinois used to send a super sectional game through there for the big class system in Class 2A when it was a two-class system in Illinois. Now it's 4. So every other year there was a game that was supposed to be played there, a Sweet 16 game.
Yeah.
The coaches wanted games to be played there so their teams locally could adapt to that facility.
Okay.
Since then, we've moved away from the Mark. It was just too big. We would get a couple thousand people to show up for a game, but in an arena like that, it's kind of a drop in a bucket.
Yeah.
Augustana has been our home for, I don't know, maybe 25 years now.
Yeah.
They've got plenty of space for us. They do great with the concessions. They don't price gouge you. There's plenty of room in the foyer if you want to you want to stretch your legs, go get something to eat or drink.
Yeah.
There's plenty of seating. Their facility also provides us with enough locker room space to host 4 teams or maybe 6 teams, depending on what time of a day the teams arrive. So the move to Augustana was kind of a no-brainer, and their staff, Mike Sapolsky and Trevor Jossett, has been really easy to work with. They've just done a wonderful job for us here the last couple of decades.
Oh yeah, definitely. So if someone has never been to a shootout,
Sure.
what can they expect?
So what we do, and one of the other reasons why the event came about was because Iowa and their basketball scheduling is a little odd, a little different than what Illinois does. Illinois teams can play up to 35 games. Iowa, the teams can play, I think, 21 or 22 games. So we miss out, it was very traditional in the 50s, 60s, 70s that we had a conference for everybody in the area that was in, but then when the state football playoffs came about in the early 70s, the states we couldn't have a bi-state conference. The old Metro Conference had to go away, which is in turn why we have the Mississippi Athletic, why we have the Western Big Six. So it was really a way for those teams to go back and play each other again, because they don't get a chance to schedule during the regular season. Other than the shootout, they don't get to play each other.
No. Yeah. And it's too bad, too, because they're neighbors, basically.
They're neighbors. Yeah, we got some schools that are 7-8 miles away from each other, and they just can't play each other.
Right.
Especially, in football, we don't see it happen much anymore.
Yeah.
So this was one event where we could bring everybody together for a one-day festivity where we can celebrate all things basketball with these schools.
Yeah. Okay. So what makes this event so unique are the matchups, like you just talked about. So tell us about the teams who are playing.
So we have 14 schools. There are 7 schools from Iowa, 7 schools from Illinois. And what happens, we ask the coaches to actually seed the day. And here you can see some of our coaches there in our press conference that happened last Monday at Augie. So we asked them to rank their side of the state's teams. So what we try and do is work to what we like to have is a competitive day. So we're working for those last couple of games 6 and 7, where it is perceived that maybe those are the 4 best teams that are going at it in the area. And then, you could say the same about the first couple of games. Those are the teams that, they're going to struggle to win 4 or 5 games, but they still have a place with us.
Yeah.
So basically, we've asked the coaches to seed the teams, and that creates a competitive balance. As you can see from the fans, we're 3 or 4 people deep. On the track, which is kind of above the stands there, because people can't find a place to sit because there's so many people there, which is a good thing to have.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing to have, definitely. And you really make this special for the coaches and the players. So, what are some of the things?
Well, not all these schools are going to go to the state tournament on either side of the river. Usually you have 1 or 2. Of course, last year we had Moline, winning it all in their historic season. So we try and treat our day as like, for the coaches and the players, this is their state tournament. If they can't, if they don't win their way there. The Iowa schools don't get to play in a Thanksgiving tournament. They don't get to play in a Christmas holiday tournament like the Illinois schools do. So we try and, we feed the coaches, the referees. We have a hospitality room where our press can sit and work. We have an area after the games where the coaches will be behind the Genesis Health System banner, and it's almost like being at a Final Four. They'll sit down for a press conference, and our newspaper or TV people will come in and interview them.
Yeah.
So we do try and go a little extra length. The day's special, and we want to make it special.
Yeah, definitely. Give us the details on when and where this is all happening.
So this Saturday, first game takes place at 10 a.m. over at the Carver Center. That's the PE building. That's where Augustana plays their basketball games, right next to the football field. It's 3500 Fifth Avenue, Rock Island. First game's at 10. Each game is scheduled right now for an hour and a half out. If you go to genesishealth.com/shootout, our new website this year, it has game information. It has information on all the teams. It has historic matchups. It has everything that you would want for the shootout is all right there.
Okay. And tickets, they can get those at the door,
tickets,
right?
And we don't price gouge or anything like that. It's $5 per person to get in.
Awesome. You can't beat that.
And if you want to stay for the second game and maybe want to come back for the fifth or sixth game, go out and do some holiday shopping or watch a ball game or take the family out and then come back. We stamp your hand. You can come back later.
Awesome.
It normally, I think it's like $6 or $7 to get into a Friday night, Tuesday night basketball
And now
game.
you can watch all these games.
And we're just not interested. Again, we're not interested in price gouging or anything like that. We want the family to come. Augustana does the same with their concessions. Family of five, in my mind, could probably spend $50 to $60 on tickets, food and drink for the day, and stay for a few games.
Well, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. It's a fun time. Pete, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
It was nice meeting you. Again, this segment was sponsored by Genesis Health System. For more information on the shootout this weekend, go to genesishealth.com/shootout. We'll also have all those details posted on ourquadcities.com. More Living Local continues after the break.